Hello, my beautiful ignited souls. I want to present to you uh, a little bit of info so you can really get the juice and gist and jest and everything of what I really want to show you about the number 14. Now, I have done many videos on number 14 because 14 is the number of Eve, if you like. Now, there's a lot happening that the Pope is going to be signing this global educational agreement on the 14th of May, 2020, which comes to 14. The Pope, that's Pope Francis. Pope Francis, when added together, equals 14. And Pope Francis is the 266th Pope. Adding 266 together equals 14. I'm going to do this. But before I really go into all of this, I want to show you how that correlates with Eve. Now, I have done hundreds of videos and they all seem to tally very well based on this template. I call it the sacrifice template. Well, it is the sacrifice template. Now, this sacrifice template was devised from, it was Easter time as well. So it's around the story of Jesus Christ, in case you are new to all this. But the story of Jesus Christ, of course, has revealed through numerology much more hidden messages. And that's how I discovered 14 gods in the Bible story of Adam and Eve. So Genesis of chapter 1 reflects or reveals 9 gods, and Genesis chapter 2 reveals 5 gods. 5 plus 9 is 14. Now, the very first word in the scriptures also equals 14. When it says in the beginning. So basically this is reflecting the 9 gods. So this is what it is. The 9 gods, the letter I for in equals 9. So I just want to give you these bite sizes so we can really see what's happening and really understand what's happening in our world today. That this is like divine according to the scriptures. If it is divine, otherwise, whatever else we want to call it, but it is in the King James Holy Bible. And this is why I feel that it was said that not a dot of this book should be changed. But over time, when it seemed like people are getting so close to the truth of what is really hidden in there, hidden truth in plain sight, when it's getting there, we have Christians or people who are in different, although it's all under the Christian umbrella, but they keep changing it. It's either the new version or King James new version and so on and so on. And the idea is that because we are not speaking that language, we are speaking a different language. Instead of those in the know teach us how to understand that language that has been written where the truth has been revealed. No, we haven't got that. So this is what, but it's here. And we are asked in any case, we are asked, even in the New King James Version or any other book, that we are asked to seek wisdom and seek wisdom, seek wisdom, seek wisdom. And it's for us to do so. So here we are. Let's just begin with this, yeah. And just to show you some of the correlations I've got, because I've got much more, but I'm just going to go into this now. If we add these letters together, the numerical values, so we have 5 plus 7 is 12, plus 6 is 18, this is 25, sorry, 25 equals 7. Okay, so if we do this 10, this is 16, this is 21, 24, 24, and 30, 33, 34, 34. This is also 7. So we can see 7, 7 here. And just to create some space, so we know that having 7, 7 here for Pope Francis, because this is what I'm following more the numerical. Oh, I can see why my light was okay dimming. So when we go by the most popular name, or the name the person is known by, this is how we do the numerical values. So not necessarily having his whole name or so, but we see it's 14, and 14 equals 5. Now we also have Pope Francis as the 206. Adding these numbers together equals 14. Then we have the agreement that is meant to be signed is going to be on the 14th of May. This is very interesting, 2020. When we add this together, this is 14, this is 5, 10, 12, 14. Okay. I really want to show this. Then we have, there was something else. Let's just see. Coinciding with the 14 gods, I have mentioned the 14 gods of Genesis. But what I also want to show is when I add the numerical value in, let's see, is it the numerical value? Because bless is free. Yes. So when I add the numerical value, so we have 38 here and 40. So if we add this, let's see if it comes into the same way I have done it, 38 and 40. This would be 8. This would be 78. So this, of course, it's 70. Let's see, 78 would be 15. 15 would be at the middle here, which is new. This is where new comes in. So these gods are representing here. But I have on my list here for the numerical value for all the gods, and I will double check this, but I do have, oh yes, it's correct, 78. Okay, 87, so it's 78. It's correct. So this we have here, okay, so this is 15, but this also coincides with Mother Eve, because Mother Eve is also reflected as the said God. So the number 14 and 15 here in this sense is very pinnacle. 15, 1 plus 5 is 6. And we have 6 appearing right here underneath this 5, which is new. Now, if we turn this W upside down, which is the most dynamic letter, this is the most dynamic letter we have here, M and W, which is the same, which I also call, so we could have the M, or we could have the W, we could have it as free, we could have it as E or W. So, and this forms our 8-petal flower, which is very pinnacle to the whole story of what is happening, because 8-petal flower is the representation of new set of creation. The new set of creation. Okay, so let's say, okay, we have the 14 gods here. There's another thing that is very important here in the story of Christ, is that in the Christ genealogy is, I've got to bring this out, okay, the genealogy of Christ is 14 generations. So 14 generations. Christ. We also know that Christ is 32, and that means 32 3 plus 2 is 5. So, um, another thing that is very important is when Moses was on Mount Sinai and met with God, or the burning bush, and he asked God, well, who should I tell the children of Israel that I have met, or the children, whatever, or the rebellious children that they were seen as? And he said, say, I am that I am. Or he just didn't, he just said, I am that I am. So there we are. I am that. Even if I am, so we have 9 5, so this is 5. I'll just do the whole thing. 114, that, THAT, which is 2812. I am, we'll just add this on as well. So this is 10 13. So 13 is 4. And so, of course, I am that I am is the same thing. So we would have 5 here for 14. And this is 14. So this is 5. Let's just simplify this. So basically this would be 9, this would be 5, this would be 4, and I am here, hope you can see this, is also 9 5. So adding this together is 10, this is 23, and this is 32. 32 is 5. Now I am, just to, okay, there was a way that I did get it as 14, but it's 5. And that's what we want to also show. Okay, I am that I am. There was something I have that the number 14, Christ as salvation. I think the word salvation or savior. Let's see, salvation. Okay, so it's 11341 2965. So that's correct. So this is 20, 22, 23, 27, 20, 27, 30, 32. So it's 32. We're still drawing on that 5 vibration. Okay, although I would very much like to put it as in the form of 14, how I've got it here. And we also have 14th day of the first Hebrew month. So the 14th day of the first Hebrew month is called, okay, so Nisan is on the 14th day of the Hebrew month. So we see how 14, so let's just have 5 there, is very pinnacle here as well in so 14. We also have the 14th verse of the Bible, which is let there be light, and there was light. And this is this comes to 24. I have done this already, but that's the 14th. So basically the 14th verse of the scripture, when Mother Eve, in this sense, says, let there be light, and there was light. I call it the first spell. The first spell, spell, because spell, okay, let there be light, and there was light. So yes, there was waters or movement, or the spirit moved upon the face of the deep, but the first command or spell was on the it's the third verse of the Bible that I've got. 14th verse of the Bible says let there be light. So I'm going to just double check that, because I believe it is the The 14th, I felt it is the 3rd. Okay, so the 14th is that let there be lights in the firmament to divide. So this is where the division came in. So we can see that there's a strong correlation with 14 and this state where I feel we're at. If you watch my previous video on this, is really saying that, hey, number 14, the 14th verse of the scriptures is coinciding and revealing to us our current state. Our current state is where there's division right now. This division is reflective of an end and a new beginning. It is the end and a new beginning. The word end equals 5 and beginning equals 9. But this is something we will go into. And so we can see as well that the divided Godhead is in the 5th position, which coincides with the number 14, which coincides with, of course, the Pope Francis, coincides with the um, the number he has come in, and coincides with the number of gods, coincides with 14th generation, coincides with Christ, which is 32, but also 5, coincides with Eve. Have we done Eve? Oh, let's stick Eve here. I'll put Eve in red here. So E, V, E, and this is 4, sorry, 5, 4, 5. So this is 14. So Eve is 14. So we can see that there is a lot going on. If people want to just associate all what's happening to be evil or whatever it is that it is perceived as, then we have this had been entered into the scripture before Eve had eaten of any fruit or anything had happened, because this had happened. The element or the god of division was here already. So we need to go back to the scriptures and get our facts right in this sense. The number 5 with Eve, there's 2 eyes as well here, and there's the 3rd. I also have a correlation, a very close correlation happening here. So 3 things as well are happening in this world right now. We have the Pope is also going to be signing this document on, have I given the date? Yes, on this date. And so we also have this coronavirus, which corona equals 3. And then we have the next thing is that the G7, sorry, the 5G. The 5G is being installed. Now the 5G with 5 plus 7 is 12, but we have 11 here. So this would be interesting, but I also have got something else that correlates with this. I will go through this another time. So and just really want to show you again, these are things that really are potent or important to our existence right now. To understand, I feel what is happening is giving us an insight that these things have been written and spoken on for generations, and now it's like a mother who has given birth. The baby is born. The baby can't stay in the womb anymore. Now, whether it has a negative aspect or positive aspect, that is what is happening. And I also want to really show that, yes, the number 14 as well, just speaking on 14, is the only number that I have come across that reflects itself or mirrors itself. When written, FOURTEEN. So we'll do this. So this is 663925555, which I always say when the fives are there, it's Mother Eve, very present. So 15, 17, 20, 29, 35, 41. 41 reflects. So 14 is like it mirrors itself and is 41. So let's see what else I can give you on 14. I think, okay, this other thing that is very important for us to remember, the first thing we read in the scripture as well, in the beginning was the word IN, the very first word in the scripture. Let's just give you the correlation. So 14 equals 41, just to create some space. 41. And the very first word in the scriptures, IN, I think I have, yeah, IN is 9 plus 5. This equals 14. I don't think I did this before. Okay. One of the things, of course, that was given to us, the first of the fruit or the first of the commands. I'm just trying to ensure, yes, just bear with me. Okay, yes, on the waters, the word waters, I believe, or water, because on the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the deep. Is it deep or waters? I know the void is also 5. Um, okay, God created heaven and earth, and the earth was without form and void. Void is 5, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So the word waters, I believe, is 5. TERS. So this is 5, 1, 2, 5, 9, 1. So this is 15, 18, 23. 23 is 5. So we can see the presence of Mother Eve as waters, because waters is, we could say it's synonymous with words, because they both flow, waters and words, and that's what Mother Eve and the serpent also flows. So basically, this is why I see Mother Eve as this clever, cunning, if you like, or a very wise entity or spirit that was also in the Garden of Eden. But there were two creations, and we need to understand that the stories or segments have been put in certain ways that we need to make sense of. Just going by this 14 gods in the scriptures, because I went over this several times to make sure I had this right. And just going by this, we can see that we have missed out a lot. Going by the pattern here, I mean, I'm no real scholar, but I have been able to draw on by having these entries of each of the gods as it as they lay out in the Bible, and having the numerical values on the side. We can see we have 2764 here, and we have 2764. That tells me there is a crucial cycle or cycles, or we live in cycles. I also have had the oh, not intuitive, but it's difficult even to explain how. By reading, I get the images and the messages that coincides to say that, yeah, we were not like the first species that we think. We were the first human as such, or you first people, or whatever it is. No, we were just like what is happening now, a new people. There, at that time, we became a new people. This is where God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. That was a new thing. But there, it didn't mean that there was not a people or creature or whatever it was before that may have seemed very close to what we are. Hence, this is where Cain was able to go into another land and get his wife. Okay, now this also tells me, because in the scriptures where it is said, and God blessed them and blessed them and gave them, oh, I have given you every fruit, every herb, every whatever it is. And then one of the first fruits, if I'm just trying to get this, where he says, be fruitful, the first. So the first of all the blessings to be fruitful equals 41. So fruitful, let's just stick fruitful here because we really want to show fruitful. Okay, so this is 6, 9, 3, 9, 2, 6, 3. I like all these threes and all these sixes and 3. Okay, so this is 12, 14, 14, 20, 14, 23, 26, 26. Okay, come on, brain. 26, 33, 33, 39. Okay, so this is not correct. Fruitful. This is 3, 3, 6, 2. I didn't add the 2. Okay, 9, 3, 9, 6. Okay, so this is 15. This is 18. This is 29. This is 35, 38, 39, 40, 41. So this is 41. Again, this is mirroring. So this is after the blessing now. This is after the blessing. There's a cycle and it mirrors back. It's like the book has been opened right here, because we have 2 here, 2764 and 2764. It's almost as if it were a book, or the palms of your hands are like this. This is what was handed there. So after the blessing, because that's the number 9, number 9 is like something new has been birthed. So this cycle is ended and then another one begins. So this is what has happened when God blessed them. So basically, it's as if we went through this cycle, the 29 here, and we know that the number 29 is also very pinnacle in the sense of the number of the cycles, the precision, year or time or something to that effect, or even a female cycle, we could say. So we have 2 here, and this cycle here, this numbers, however, with the blessed, is coinciding with divide as well. So basically, there were two of the gods are very dynamic here. They may cause very huge changes, apart from Mother Eve, of course, who was also have the who also speaks and says, let there be light, so this is, the word is like very important there. So we have this 3 here and 3 here. We can see how the gods are matching here. We have the called God and the created God. It's like you call something into being, or you create something and you call it a name. And we have the moved God and the made God. You make something or it is made. After you make it, it is said it is made. Then we have, of course, we have the set God here, and the set God seemed to stand on her own right there. That's the only six here. And the set God, because it's a set, the set God is number 8, which sets the foundation. This is foundational right here. So it is important that we really take time and understand all of these effects. So this is major change that is happening in our existence. Major change is happening. So basically on this scale, it's like we are in this mode. We are moving from 1 to 4 because 14 is here, and this is the change we are now we are in. And I remember it's been from last year. I did a video, and I know it's still amongst all what I've done, where Mother Eve was asking us to count backward because we had completed this 9, but Mother Eve was asking to count backward from number 5 going this way. And of course, because she is a serpent, so Mother Eve has been doing the serpent thing in and out, and we need to follow the trail. This is why she sheds her skin, and this is why we are shedding our skin now, to understand or to see the trail or to have that demarcation and that newness. So here we are into this new. The new is really giving like some kind of separation, or is it's not giving, it is expressing or reflecting the separation or the change, the major change. This is why on number 5 it is said, oh, this is what I meant to also show when I said about the 11. So 5 plus 6 is 11. Seems something new is happening. And we see 11 is also reflected here with the change that we are talking about. So the correlation of things that are happening, we see change is happening. It's happening with what we call the coronavirus is here. It's also coronavirus put together, or virus is 8. So this is saying there's a set of something here. And 3 plus 8, if you like, coronavirus would be 11. So this in itself is showing another layer of truth in what is happening today. Now, I can't say I can really predict anything, but I can really show what is happening right now. And there we have the divided God, of course. It's like Eve is in the middle, just representing when Eve ate of the fruit of good and evil, or the fruit of good and knowledge, or evil, whatever it was. But there we know that that was the demarcation of a new era, a new life, a new of newness. So divided, as we have learned the word in English as well, if there was meant to be Eve, we would have to change that E into an I right here. So it is really Eve. Oh, even if you didn't really want to see it this way, the letters EIV or EVE is still there. So divided is really reflecting where we are at right now, and with this number 5. This coincides with the same story of Christ as well. And I have got videos and videos showing this, that I feel that the story of Christ was just another version of the same story of Adam and Eve. Oh, it's like the son had come to really give the story of his mother. Okay. And we have, as I said, 33. Now, I have showed in my other videos that, oh, the number 33 equals people, equals Genesis. So Genesis is like saying it's a new journey. You could say a new people. And so we can see that this is the template that has been given to us in Genesis of chapter 1 and 2. And I have many more videos to do on this to really reflect how the gods are working together, or how the gods are, um, how they pair up, because as well they do pair up. Let's just show this, because I have done this in adding the gods together, the two sets of gods together. I have been able to see how they come to 7, and so reflecting the 7th day of creation and rest. Okay, I hope you will find this of some insight. I'm just seeing, yeah. So, Global Educational Pact is what the Pope Francis is going to be signing. And on this meeting, yes, and there was also a meeting. In fact, this was decided, or there was a meeting or something very profound as well, on the 14th of May. So we see the 14th of May is very symbolic. May seemed to be the month. May and September is the month that really speaks volume. So I've also heard about the Pope going to be doing something else in September. So the month of September is the 9th month. So we have the 5 is represents end, and 9 represents beginning. So basically, there is a lot for us to unpack with all what's going on and scripturally. And just to also add that if we were to take on the term Mother Earth, that equals 7. So my light is flashing. I want to thank you for really I really want to thank you. I hope you find something from this. Do like this video. If you like it, please share and like and subscribe. And there's so much more deliciousness, but I feel when you understand this, you understand what's happening in the world, and you perhaps won't feel so you won't feel anxious. It will help to give you a degree of peace. So, namaste and spill over with love. Stay ignited.